Hi guys, welcome to another one of my exposure videos where I use exposure therapy to help keep my choking phobia on a daily basis. So today I have a little bit of cheese bread and some onion ring or French fry thingy potato wedges. So first thing you want to do in exposure is make sure you're relaxed as you possibly can be. Stay away from screens if you can. Just gonna ask yourself. So you're gonna choke, right? So ask yourself on a scale of 0 to 100, what is the likelihood that you're gonna choke? What is the likelihood you're gonna choke, like right now? And you come up with a number. So for me, you got a little bit of burnt, a little bit here, fries. It's honestly, it's like a 0. So it's a 0 out of 100. So that means I have 0 anxiety of choking on food. Next thing to do is actually eat the food. Usually you'll have higher levels of anxiety, obviously. Okay, so while I continue my exposure, we're gonna learn a little bit, and we're gonna talk a little bit.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Natalie. If you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm sick a lot with just random things. And I really like to advocate for like mental health and things like that. So when I end up getting sick with something that's like completely out of the blue and weird, I like to make awareness videos based on that, because I know that there are a lot of people in the same boat that don't have all the answers and like to know what other people's experiences are. And I think if I can provide what I'm looking for when I get sick to somebody else, and just reassure them that you're gonna be fine, you're okay. So today I want to talk to you about something called a association choking anxiety. I will preface it with a bit of a backstory in terms of like how it came about, because it's not something that just randomly happens. That's going to happen to everyone in their lifetime. Some people will never experience it, but for those that do, it can be really, really scary. About 4 weeks ago, I started experiencing extreme bouts of panic. Now, I have been diagnosed with anxiety before, but I had never had a panic attack, which seems totally weird. There is a difference between anxiety and a panic disorder. I was eating in the car, which was stupid to begin with. It was late at night. We went over a bump as I went to swallow, and whatever I was eating scraped down the back of my esophagus, which made it feel like I was choking on my food. Now, I did end up going to the emergency department, but not for the choking phenomena. This induced a panic attack that was so bad that my heart rate was stuck at 160 for the next 40 minutes. The panic attack was something that went from 0 to 60 real quick. It was like, oh no, I'm choking. Oh no, now I'm gagging. Now I'm dry reaching in the car. My whole body was taken over with adrenaline. I was shaking profusely for 20-25 minutes. I was hyperventilating. My blood pressure went through the roof. So yeah, it was a bit of a scary experience for me. Fast forward to a week later, I actually ended up back at the doctor, and this is when I learned that I've been suffering from something called silent reflux or laryngeal reflux. So unlike normal reflux or GERD, silent reflux is called silent reflux because sometimes it's completely symptomless, and you start to notice things like you might feel the sensation of having a postnasal drip, choking, or feeling
I just want to say a couple things. Number one, I don't like to judge people. She's very smart. She knows what she's talking about. I personally morally disagree with her cleavage. It's a bit too much for me. Like, I'm eating and I'm trying to be, it's just not. It's tasteless for me. I find it difficult to eat when I can see so much cleavage. It really is that much. Like, I'm not being a prude. This is just, if you watch how much cleavage she has, it's a lot of cleavage. Having said that, I am going to continue with the video because she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to cause any conflict or drama with people, or make her feel like, oh, she's a slut. No, if you want to wear that, wear that. All I'm saying is, while I'm eating, I'm trying to be relaxed and doing my exposure, I can see a lot of cleavage that is causing me to feel sick. So I was gonna end the video. I'm not really gonna end the video. I'm just gonna like let her keep talking, because she is very, very like incisive in terms of what she wants to say. In terms of, at least for me, it's relating to me, the idea of having a panic attack and feeling like you're about to die, and you know, so like your food was scraped by your larynx, and so you go to the emergency room, right? And you feel like you're gonna die. It's a horrible feeling. So let's continue the video. I just wanted to just say this because it's kind of hard for me to go through with the video. Let's continue, please.
Like there's something lodged in your windpipe is a really common symptom. Now, because this has been going on for a month, and despite being treated, the psychological effects of this have led to something called an associated choking anxiety. So what happens is I'll go to eat and it'll be totally fine until it's in my mouth, and then my brain sort of is like, okay, you have to swallow that now, and then it's just this overwhelming panic. Like, oh my god, spit it out, do something with it, but don't swallow it, because if you swallow it, it's going to lodge in your windpipe and you're going to choke and die. Obviously, if we want to be realistic about it, people don't just choke and die like that. It doesn't happen like that. And I am fortunate enough that in the place where I'm living, someone is always home. So even in the event that I did choke, there would always be someone around to help out or call an ambulance or whatever. So how I've been dealing with it is eating food when I can. Some days it's really hard. So I've got a hospital grade sustagen formula, which provides me most of my basic vitamins, fiber, protein, iron, things of that nature, just to make sure that like nothing gets too serious where I have to end up in a hospital. But yeah, other than that, small amounts of food throughout the day has been helping. There are some textures I cannot deal with, like anything that has coconut in it, I just, no, out of the question. I don't want to know. But yeah, like cheese pizza, really good for this apparently. I can also suggest waiting when you're eating, and you're eating little bits at a time, and wait between 20 and 30 minutes before you have a drink of water. It's going to be really super uncomfortable, and you're going to want to clear your throat and cough and all sorts of things, but you have to sort of sit with that fear that something's going wrong and understand that the whole time this 20 minutes is going on, you are breathing, you're alive. You might be a little bit afraid, but that's fine. I know there's a lot of people out there, just from doing some basic research, that deal with it. A lot of what they describe sounds exactly like the anxiety and the associated phobia that I'm going through. A lot of people have a hard time accepting the fact that, you know, they've been diagnosed with something and the doctors say this, this, and this, and this. And it could just be like a psych-related thing. It's not always, but from what I read, a lot of it comes across that way. And I just want to say, like, don't be ashamed.
You know what?
It could just be like a psych-related thing. It's not always, but from what I read, a lot of it comes across that way. And I just want to say, like, don't be ashamed at the fact that your mind is basically fucking you over. It happens to the best of us. And
oh my god, that's like the best quote I ever heard. Don't be ashamed that your mind is basically fucking you over. That's a great way of describing choking anxiety. Your mind is lying to you. Saying, I don't know, you're gonna choke. You're gonna definitely choke. And one more thing I wanted to say. I wanted to actually say it after I finish the exposure. I just want to say it now before I forget. I usually write things down. I try to. She talked about a traumatic event that happened that kind of triggered or kind of began the process of her having a choking phobia, or choking anxiety, right? She was in her friend's car. She was eating some food, and some of it scraped against the back of her larynx, causing her to feel like she's choking. And so then her heart rate goes up, her blood pressure goes up, She has symptoms of panic attack, deep breathing, can't focus, can't breathe, feeling you're gonna die, rapid, heartbeat and chest pain, tremors and just confusion. And so she went to the emergency room, not for choking, for the real anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't go to the emergency room for choking. She went to the emergency room because she had this feeling of choking anxiety. So it was precipitated by a traumatic event, right? She was in her car. She can remember this, and she said she was in her car. She ate a little bit, and she thought she was choking. She had a panic attack. And she's saying a couple things. One, don't be ashamed of that. That's fine. If that's who you are. And I'm like that sometimes too. I was always like that for a long period of time. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Right now, right here, that I feel a lot of times when I was, having panic attacks, I was going to die immediately. I needed to go to the hospital immediately. I needed to, get to medical immediately. Some sort of medical personnel to observe me and tell me I'm not choking, I'm not dying, stuff like that. So I definitely can experience that as plain as can be. It's very clear to me. I definitely believe in that. I've definitely felt that. I felt that about 2 years ago. I had a very bad panic attack. I felt like I was choking. I was eating a one of those Cadbury eggs, for around Easter, and I thought I swallowed some of the aluminum foil when I was eating it, and I don't think I did, to be quite honest. I thought I did though, so I thought it was lodged in my, in my throat, right around, top of your throat area. Like if it was my throat, it was her throat, I'd say it's like lodged right around here, and I'd be like, I could feel it, and I'd start like coughing, and then I would stop coughing and just I'd tell myself there's going to be a moment in about 5 minutes or 2 minutes or however long it takes the human body to adjust to not having oxygen. There's going to be a moment when you're going to cough uncontrollably. And I believe that, absolutely. I believed that within 5 minutes I'm going to start coughing uncontrollably, and then, shit's going to hit the fan, and I'm going to die. These are real thoughts people have with choking anxiety. This isn't like something we're just making up. We feel these symptoms and they're real. So the two things I wanted to mention, as I said, just to wrap up. One, her traumatic event that precipitated it, or in a way triggered it, that caused her first panic attack, which was, obviously simply here eating, and it's not, who knows what happened. It's dumb to eat in a car, first of all, right? It's not very safe. And secondly, she's probably talking to her friends, she's busy, whatever. The point is, some of the food scraped her larynx and caused a panic attack. And that precipitated it. Because at that moment, she did not know how to deal with panic attacks, right? She wasn't equipped. She doesn't have the tools, biological tools, like, for example, deep breathing, talking, experiencing, like, talking about what you're doing right now, experiencing what you're doing right now, saying, all right, let's have more anxiety. Like, I know it's not going to get any worse than at a certain point. It's going to be high and it's going to get into low, At a certain point, it's not going to get any worse. So, she didn't know these tools. She experienced a panic attack and learned the behavior that she's going to choke every time she eats now, right? So it's very important that these things are, I want to point them out. And last thing I want to say, she gives a good idea for an exposure to kind of eat without drinking for about 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I'll think about it. I don't know. I've just, I might try it once. Not eat for about, just eat and for not really drink for 20 minutes and then have a nice drink of water. It's, why not? I'm going to try it. Let's try it tomorrow. So, that being said, let's keep going.
Honestly, if you're not getting any reprieve from your general practitioner and you think it might have some sort of psych bearing or there's a panic associated with it, absolutely, even mention to your doctor, do you think it could be X? And see what they say on it. I know my doctor was going to refer me to a speech pathologist to basically learn how to re-eat, which was completely unnecessary because there is no functional problem in my swallowing mechanism. I'm not old enough to have dysphagia. I don't have any condition that causes dysphagia or an inability to swallow. And even if there is a functional problem in terms of the stomach acid, that's just acid and I'm not going to choke. Rational brain, it's ridiculous. Irrational brain, end of the world scenario. So yeah, I just wanted to inform you a little bit about the effects of silent reflux and the phenomena that is an associated choking anxiety.
Oh yeah, so one more thing I want to say. I don't have silent reflux. I have acid reflux. Which I guess now I'm thinking, was I misdiagnosed? Maybe. I don't know. I think the difference is silent reflux, the acid, I actually don't know the difference. I just know acid reflux is refluxing of acid up into your esophagus, which can cause you to sometimes feel like you're choking. the acid gets in your esophagus. It can cause, you know, burning sensation in your throat. She's right though that. So I don't know what silent esophagus is. No, silent reflux is. I'm sorry, I don't know. Let's just continue.
Happens to a lot more people than you think. If you've ever experienced it, let me know down in the comments. As a side note, so I'm probably not going to be filming anything else until the new year. I have a load of shoots planned, so hopefully I can get some photography stuff up for you. On that note as well, I am looking at doing a Q&A for photography, anything from beginning to...
Just about to end this part 1 here. As you can see, I ate most of the food. I'm gonna eat this to kind of end it and see where my anxiety is now. Another bite. It should be a 0. Well, feels like a 0. Oh. A 0. So one might be asking, why still do these exposures if it's always 0s? Some days it will not be 0s, I guarantee you. Someday you'll have a bad day. Your paycheck will be late. Someone will yell at you at your work. Someone will cut you off. You'll have a fight with a family, your boyfriend, or whatever, right? You'll come back to this exposure. It'll be like a 5. Or like a 15. You'll be like, why? Why is this happening? And it'll click. It's because of the things that happened previously in your life. Remember, choking anxiety is also related to other feelings you're having in your life. It's like a feeling, right? It's just a maladaptive. It's a mal feeling. It's like a wrong feeling. It's an overblown feeling. Still a feeling. So with that being said, it's gonna require, you know, a nuanced understanding of other feelings you're having and other things that are happening in your life. If you have a stress-free day, your anxiety is gonna be lower. If you have a stress-high day, your anxiety is gonna be higher. If you don't have the tools to deal with anxiety, your anxiety is gonna be higher. If you have the tools to deal with anxiety, your anxiety is gonna be lower. Right? And those are the main things you need. The tools to deal with anxiety, and having anxiety, having a smooth relationship with like family and boyfriends and, you know, work and stuff like that. Those 2 things will limit your anxiety, will allow them to not get too high. All right, so let's I want to probably end it here. No, I'll make a part 2. I want to talk about that book I've been, you know, read from once, and I want to read from again. You know, maybe a short story or something. Alright guys, remember, stay with it. Went from a 0, stay to a 0. Remember guys, stay with it. Be back for part 2 quite soon.